So since we were talking about last year, I would share that I absolutely loved your performance in Coolie number one. You know,
Thank you.
you
Thank you so
always
much.
have this different charm about yourself, and I just couldn't stop gushing about your dresses, your looks, all those floral prints and whatnot. So,
Thank
Shikha,
you.
tell me.
That credit goes completely to the costume designer, not
I mean,
me for
you
sure.
pull it off
But thank
so
you.
well. You pull it off so well. I mean, everywhere, whenever I see you. So, how do you do that? Like, how do you make your characters so breathable and believable?
Thank you so much. That's a huge compliment. Thank you so very much. I don't know. No, look, there's an entire team involved, right? There is a script. There's a story. There's a script. There are so many people involved in making your character, not just you. So
Yeah,
you have the best people doing your costumes. You have the best people doing your makeup. So the way you look, that helps an actor as well,
yeah,
to get into the skin of the character. And then the rest is just you do your homework and you have fun while you're doing your when you're doing your job, and try to bring something new every time for yourself, if also not just for the people that you're collaborating with,
mm-hmm.
and try to make it fun and have fun while you're doing it. That's the fun of this job, that you get to play different characters. And even though the characters might be similar, like say for example it's in an urban setting, so it's
Yeah,
very similar to what you've done before, but then to bring something, um, because each character is different, each person is different, each
yeah,
person that you're playing is different, so to bring that a little bit in there,
mm-hmm.
that's the fun of it, to
Mm-hmm.
discover that.
Mm-hmm. So,
And
okay,
yeah, honestly, I love performing. So
yeah.
any chance I get, I'm just like, okay, come, let's have fun,
Mhm.
let's experiment, let's see what we can do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And in that collaborative process, you figure out saying, okay, this is what I'm going to keep for this character.
Yeah. But again, I must also say, I mean, this is a little personal, but I would really want to know it from your end. Like, has there been any hesitation from your end? Because, I love watching you on screen and you generally portray the hero or the heroine's best friend. And, you're typically
Mhm.
typecast into certain roles. So, did that thought process ever cross your mind?
Look, there's a larger conversation to be had over here of how every actor, no matter where they're at, is typecast.
Yeah,
Every
true.
actor,
Yes.
every actor. Not a single actor is exempt from that.
Yeah.
So that's the larger conversation to be had.
Hmm.
And that means you're clearly doing something right if
Yeah.
that's working for you. I will be brutally honest with you. And yes, there have been times where I'm just like, look, I don't want to do this again. And
Yeah.
I've done it before. Can you give me something else which is very challenging, which is different, which is, something new that I can
Hmm.
explore? I've had those moments, but I will also tell you that it's also how you look at the character. Somebody
Hmm.
wise once said that there are no small parts, there are only small actors.
True.
So there's so many factors to it. It depends on if you really like the story, if you're getting, paid what you deserve, if there are people that you really in this project that you really want to collaborate with, and you know that you'll find something different,
Hmm.
and you know that what you can bring to the character. I'm very happy. I'm very happy as an actor there.
Hmm.
Yes, it has been tough. And yes, I have played those. I mean, people know those characters of mine because probably there have been commercial films where I've played the protagonist's best friend or sister or whatever.
Hmm.
But everything else that I've done, I've played like a completely different sets of characters.
Yeah.
I've also done a Veerati Wedding, which is a commercial film where I am not just
A
that.
friend.
I am
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
protagonists,
Yeah.
you know? So at the end of the day, it's how you look at it. So I could say that I only play those parts, but I don't.
True.
I play many different parts.
Hmm.
And I'm the best damn friend you're going to find on screen.
That's
That is
true.
like, I'm hoping for that. That,
Like
like,
you are
you
that
know,
one friend, on the screen who's always got somebody's back. Like they can rely on you. They can cover up for anybody.
that's the script. But yeah, I'm hoping that I give my best portrayal in every character that I play. And I
Yeah.
think, I think like I can never ever diss those choices that I made, because those have brought me here today, where now we're coming into a place where everybody, there's a there's a larger conversation happening about what kind of stories we're listening to or watching
Mm.
or creating.
Yeah.
Now has come that point that because of those characters, I am now here where people are like, okay, let's try her for something else than just playing the best friend.
Yeah.
And those opportunities are brilliant. And I'm so thankful for them. And I worked really hard to get to this point. So I
Mm.
can never diss those characters ever,
Mm.
or diss those choices ever, because I have made those choices. And
Mm.
I'm very aware of the choices that I've made.
Mm.
And I'm proud of them.
So, Shikha, you have made a very prominent mark of yourself in this industry. So, over the years, what has been your biggest takeaway?
Hmm. So many things. Patience is truly a virtue that you need to hold on to. And the patience game is really going to try your patience, but you have to be very patient. You have to be very resilient. And when people say that, oh, you need to have really thick skin to be in this industry, to be an actor, you really need thick skin.
Mm.
But there's so much truth in that,
Mm-hmm.
because you're auditioning every day. It really, there's so many factors involved in whether you get the part or not.
Yeah,
It's not just your talent or just the way you look. It could be a
a
billion
lot of reasons
reasons,
effect. Yeah.
so it depends on many things. And, you're also getting, if you're not getting the part every day, for whatever reason it may be, because you just don't know. You
Mm-hmm.
just don't know why you didn't get that
Yeah.
part. Probably you didn't fit that part. Probably it could be anything. You
Mm-hmm.
just didn't fit that part and it didn't happen. But you're also getting that rejection daily.
Yeah.
So that is where your thick skin needs to come in. That is where your patient game needs to come in. That's when your resilience needs to come in. And the
Mm-hmm.
one major thing that I've learned from, one more thing that I've learned from my years of being around as an actor, is that you need to have fun. If you're not enjoying what you do,
Then there's no point in,
it's
putting yourself in.
it's not going,
Yeah.
it's not worth it. Nothing in your life, if you're not enjoying what you're doing,
True.
it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. But since we're talking again about auditions and all that, so, has there been this thing? And, me being a big girl myself, I really wanted to ask you, is it tougher to get filmmakers to look beyond one's physicality? Does it get frustrating? You're supposed to look a certain way, or they
Um,
might not take
I
you.
think it used to, sure, I completely get where you're coming from. I think it used to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been saying this since then, that it's changing. Our
Okay.
consciousness is changing. Our awareness is changing. Look at the stories that we had back then and look at the stories we have today.
A lot
And
progressive,
look at
I would
the,
say, in terms of content.
yeah, and just in content. Forget physicality, but just in content. Look at the kind of actors that you never thought, that I don't think this person can do anything else but this, because they were typecasted. But
Yeah.
then we see so many people today, and I'm not, and you can't count them on your 10 fingers. They're more than that.
Yeah.
That everybody who you thought could play only one thing, now you're seeing them in a completely different light. So your content is changing, the casting is changing, our awareness and our consciousness is changing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is different today.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you personally that I am so thankful for that. I recently did a series where they offered me a part, and I was reading the character list, and
Okay.
I said, I really like this part that you've offered me, that you want
Mm-hmm.
me to audition for,
Mm-hmm.
but because I've done this before, could I, if you don't mind, and if it works for you,
Mm-hmm.
could I try for this other part? And they
Mm-hmm.
had a meeting. They came back. I was like, yes, please try for that part. And I did, and I got it. Now, this communication, I don't think would have been possible back in the day, but it's possible today.
Yeah.
And yes, there are times where I'm just like, um, there have been times where I've said that till I don't lose weight, or if I'm not not lose weight, forget that. If I'm not the conventional cookie cutter version of what people think actors should be, I'm not going to get this part, which is not true
True.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't. It's not. 100% true anymore, which is great. So
Hmm.
I think right now we're at a very, very good place.
Okay.
Um, and there's still a long way to go. There's
Hmm.
still a very, very, very long way to go. I think we're moving forward at a pace which could be hurried up a little bit. It could be a little faster,
Yeah.
but we're moving in the right direction, I feel.
Hmm. So, apart from that, what were the kind of challenges you face in terms of choosing a project or bagging a new role?
Well, when I started out, there was the whole thing of, your popularity, uh, in terms of not popularity, but I think your recall value. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Your recall value also determines whether you get picked for a project or not,
Acha.
back in the day,
Okay.
right? Because if you don't remember me, then how are you going to call
No
me?
point.
And
Yeah.
there's no, like, how are you going to call me and say that, oh, yeah, yeah, of course, let's call Shikha for that part and let's have an audition for that.
Hmm.
And I didn't know anybody. I got wake up sit through, like, really, like, I got to audition for it only because I had a friend in college who saw me perform a lot in college. So I
Okay.
used to be interested in acting. Do you want to do it? There's a film. I'm
Hmm.
assisting Nandini Shrikant, the casting director. We're looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Do you want to come and audition? I said, yeah, come, let's do it. Let's try. And that's how it happened. So I didn't know anybody. And my parents, they're from the industry, and they said that, look, we're individuals at the end of the day. You know what you're getting into, and we won't be able to make any calls for you. We won't be able to introduce you to anybody. You'll
Okay.
have to figure this out on your own. I'm like, yeah, cool, sounds good. And so that was tough, getting in touch with people. And because of where I had worked before I started acting, and because of those people that I had met, all those colleagues that I had met when I was behind the scenes, I got in touch with them saying, hey, I think I want to act now. If you know anybody, if you know any other casting directors, please give me numbers. I'd love to get in touch with them.
Hmm.
And I've auditioned a lot. I still audition, and I don't feel that it's bizarre at all,
Hmm.
because how is a person going to know whether you fit the part or not?
Exactly. Without giving a test.
So
And yeah.
without giving a test, that's absolutely fine. There are some tests which I'm just like, for this I'm not testing. There's enough YouTubes out there for
Yeah.
you to watch. Of course, there are very few of those,
Yeah.
but everything else, I'm very happy to audition. I'm very, very happy to audition.
Hmm.
And it's been tough. It was really, really tough. I remember going, and I still, like, now in the pandemic, though it hasn't happened. We've only been,
Hmm.
self-testing. But honestly, there's not one part of it that I wish I would change,
Hmm.
because it's taught me so much. I have met such wonderful people. I've just observed so many people who are
Hmm.
just waiting there, and also they're in the same queue as you, trying to give the same audition.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to learn from even observing those people.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's been tough,
Hmm.
but it's been wonderful as well.
Hmm. So, with such challenges, one often tends to feel negative. And, as an artist in a society where mental health issues are so prevalent, like depression and anxiety due to work pressure. So, how do you deal with that? What has your take been on this?
Oh, I have cried. I have bemoaned my fate for hours and days and months together. I have literally cried when something hasn't worked out, something has fallen through, when something which is completely awful, and you're just like, how can anybody even write this? Forget make it, but
Yeah.
how can somebody even write this?
Hmm.
And then have the audacity to, offer it to people, to say that,
Yeah.
hey, this is what it is, and can you audition for it? I, I really, like, I've spent many hours crying. Uh, but I also have a great support system.
Hmm.
Uh, the only tangible way that I don't, because of the lack of a better way of explaining it,
Hmm.
I hope you understand my sentiment behind it. That
Yeah.
it really helps that my parents are from this from this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was the support I had of them saying, it's all right, it's fine. This didn't work out. Something else will come up. Just keep your head down and keep working, keep auditioning, keep trying. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the biggest support system that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest support system I had. And I didn't have any um, delusions
Mm-hmm.
about, oh, I just want to play a particular kind of part.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just want the experience. I
Yeah.
just want to be out there. I just want that recall value.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to meet different people and have, you know, like the best of times I've had are on things that people haven't even seen.
Okay.
It's like not even out there, like probably corporate films and stuff like that. It's like stuff that hardly anybody has seen. But I've had the best time on those because I had such a great time creating that with the people that were collaborating on that project.
Mm-hmm.
So, my first support system was my parents and my family, which
Mm-hmm.
really helped me
Mm-hmm.
because they've been through it. They're still going through it because the life of an actor is always the
Yeah.
life of an actor. So they were always there to hold my hand and keep reassuring me that whatever you're doing is fine. This happens. These are variables that are not under your control. You just have to be strong and you just have to be resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my friends
Mm-hmm.
uh, who are, that's what, the most wonderful things in the entire planet, on the entire planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to talk. That's what I still do whenever I need to. They're my therapists, all of them. My
Okay.
family and my friends are my therapists, and I try to be a good therapist to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one day at a time now. And you just keep hoping and dreaming that this will pay off at the end of the road.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow it'll pay off. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the only thing you can do here. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever you feel that you can't, and this is for everybody out there, for any job that you're doing, the
Mm-hmm.
day you feel that your brain and your heart can't handle what is happening around you, please go and meet a therapist because you need a very objective, non in like somebody who's not invested in you personally or emotionally to give you the tools to deal with it.
True.
And you should just go and just spill
Mm-hmm.
your guts immediately.
Mm-hmm. So looking back and now towards the way forward, are you happy how things are shaping up for you in the industry?
I'm very happy. Like I also know that I worked very, very, very hard and I still am to get to where I am today. And I hope it just grows from here on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I am very, very happy with the way things are turning out to be. Touch wood. I keep touching wood. And yeah, what's really lovely is to see how I'm not the only person going through that. I think there's a sea that there's a the
Yeah.
wave of change happening all over, all around me in everybody's
Yeah.
conscience, the world's conscience.
Yeah.
So to be a part of that revolution is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
To have so many like-minded people around you
Mm-hmm.
and to get to collaborate with them,
Mm-hmm.
it is so exciting.
Mm-hmm. So was acting always your dream job, or are you still looking forward to look for something new or maybe experiment yourself somewhere else?
Uh, those are two questions which have three answers, I feel.
Okay.
Was acting always my dream? Let's go with that one first. I think so. But
Okay.
then in my 20s, I kind of questioned it a little bit, saying that, do I really want to? Look, I grew up thinking that, and I don't know if this is true for everybody else, but I think a lot of children think like that. When you grow up, whatever your parent is doing, you think that's the only job in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, yeah, I'll also become an actor like my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend whose parents used to work, who were doctors. So they're like, yeah, I'm going to grow up and become a doctor.
Yeah, that's a
Then somewhere in
common
school,
thing that happens. Yeah.
correct. And then somewhere in school, you're just like, oh no, I want to either be a doctor or I want to be a teacher because those are the most noble and the best jobs out there.
Yeah.
Then you grow up a little bit more and you understand how much you have to study, and you're just like, okay, no, cannot be doctor, cannot be teacher. No, now let's explore yourself. this is a joke, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, and I think, I mean, I was always very, very interested in performing. I always really enjoyed it. I used to be that wide-eyed fangirl whenever I was backstage when my parents were doing their shows and stuff like that. When I was there backstage with
Mhm.
them, I just enjoyed the process so much and I found it fascinating and mesmerizing. Then in my 20s, I went through a lot of existential angst of just like, do I really want to do this, or is this only
We all
because,
go through this and we can
I'm
relate.
exposed?
Yeah.
Correct.
Is it the
Only because
only,
I've been
like, is it the right
exposed to
thing that
this.
I'm doing? Yeah, fair. I mean, somebody
Mm,
else is doing something really better than me, but am I actually cut for this? These are
yeah,
things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at that point of time, look, when I had the conversation with my parents, saying I think I want to act, and they gave me the entire lowdown, saying that the life, that stability is a bit, you're not. It's not like every month you're going to get paid. You never know what's going to work for you or not. It's a freelance job,
Hmm.
and you're going to live the life of a freelancer. Are you okay with that? And we can't make any calls for you, etc., etc., etc. And I said, yeah, that's true. I don't know, but I still think I want to act. And they said that, look, we're being very realistic with you. I used to be very culturally involved in college. So I used to do a lot of organizing of all these events and stuff like that in college, which I really enjoyed as well.
Hmm.
And they said that, well, you have that also, why don't you explore that also?
Yeah.
Don't give up on acting, but explore that also. जो भी मतलब तुमको job मिल जाता है करो देखो. The only way you know what you want is by eliminating what you don't want. But
Yeah.
you have to give it a try.
Yeah.
You have to give it a shot. So I got into production because of that, and I really enjoyed that. And if I hadn't, honest to God, if I hadn't gotten the call for Wake Up Sid to go and audition for it, if I hadn't gotten the film, I think by today I would have been some EP of some sort.
Okay.
Uh, and yeah, it's just there's no control over these things, right?
Yeah.
So anyhow, I digress. So I really questioned it. Then acting happened. Then when my delusion of just like, why aren't the phones ringing and why aren't people calling me for, how does this work? How do I tell people that I'm ready to act? When that didn't happen, and then you get into the thick of it and you understand how it works and how you need to keep auditioning, how you need to keep, making sure that people know that
Hmm.
you're here as an actor willing to work. So then they keep sending you for auditions or whatever you do, plays. I got into theater also very much like telling a friend, saying that, listen, if they're ever auditioning, please tell me. I would really like to do a play.
Hmm.
So that's how I got into theater as well, like full on into it, and it just grows from there. It's just a domino effect.
Hmm.
And then I don't know, somewhere along the line, I was just like, no, I'm meant to do this. And I love doing this.
Hmm.
And I love performing. And I'm so glad I found it. I'm so glad that I worked really hard to be here, right? So I'm really glad that all those efforts are paying off. And I'm still working hard and I still have many more, milestones that I want to personally reach.
Hmm.
And I don't know, along the way, if there's something that's there that interests me, I might do it. I don't know. But I don't think I'll ever give up
On
performing. That
performing.
is something that
Hmm.
mm, I think it'll be really, really hard to do that.
Hmm.
It'll be really, really hard to do that.
Hmm. I really love the confidence that you adore whenever you're talking or whenever you're putting yourself out. But,
Thank you.
I really have to know, when this society has this, perception of a perfect body. I mean, I think perfect is a very subjective word according to me, but, has there been any incidents where you are made to feel, low about the way you look? And I'm
Of
asking not
course.
for myself. I mean, there are so many out there who are not only just body shamed at home, let alone, peers. So, how do you deal with it?
I'm just trying to, there's just, okay, let me articulate this right. Uh, can I swear, you can bleep this out, but society, honestly, really, I couldn't care less. Now,
Mhm.
I
True.
really couldn't care less. I'm trying to do what I do. I am trying to live the way I want to, and I'm trying to love and nourish and protect me and mine.
Mhm.
Um, And there are enough people who love that work, and there will always be people who don't
Criticize.
like that work.
Yeah.
But and I'm the same person. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like, and there's a lot of stuff that I like.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's okay. My physicality defines me, but it's not the only thing that defines me. Uh, when I was younger, it was awful. I still have days where I'm just like everything wrong in my life is because I look this way. I still have those days. But everybody has that. It is not a
Yes.
emotion. It's not an emotion that is very specific to only people who are fat. It happens to people who are thin. It happens to people who are tall, who are short, who are everybody, guys. Everybody.
Yes.
Because we're vain creatures. Humans are vain creatures, and we're really evil sometimes.
Yeah.
And we just there's just so many things that are normalized that we
Yeah.
don't even realize what we're saying. So now, like, also, I don't have time now to,
वो सोचने
feel,
के लिए वो
oh
प्रोसेस.
no, how am I going to deal with this? I don't have time. I have work to do. I have bills to pay. I have to feed myself and I have to have a good time and I need to go and relax with my friends and my family. This is not a priority for me.
Mm-hmm.
When people say that, oh, you've broken stereotypes, I haven't tried to do anything. I have just tried to be me. I have
Yourself.
never woken up saying, I want to break stereotypes. No, I just want to
You
act.
can't do
I
that.
just want to perform.
Yeah.
And what is a stereotype? Please explain the stereotype for me. And why can't I fit into that? The minute you can explain that to me, I will accept it. But you can't because it's subjective. Art is subjective.
True.
You can't. So I really can't care less. And whenever people say that, there have been some people saying that, where do you get your confidence from? I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. That's almost like it's an insult compliment, you know. It's just like, should I not be confident that I have a brain that works? Should I not be confident that I have a body that lets me live to my fullest and I can touch my own toes, come back up? I can do a little bit of maths.
Mhm.
I can cook. I have some talent. I like the way I look. I think I'm very pretty. I I know my heart can love to its more than its
Yeah.
fullest capacity. There are a lot of things that are amazing,
Mm-hmm.
but we've just been taught, and it's also a great humility is a great
Yeah.
virtue to have. And you don't want to keep saying that about yourself, but you're just like, how can you ask me that? Should I not be? What is it that I shouldn't be confident about? What is it? Just because I'm fat?
This is like
Why
a
is my
common
fatness so
misconception.
offensive for you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
वो कहाँ से
it's
मिलता
just, I
है?
don't understand it.
Very, yeah, but maybe I think there are people out there who are more like they are thriving to gain that confidence, the confidence which you have, and
Agreed. Agreed. But again, I'm not confident there are many times when I'm not confident. Yeah. I can't even, like, there are many times that happens.
yeah,
You put me in front of someone who knows a little bit more about a particular subject, I just be like, oh my God,
इसको ज्यादा
I
पता है.
don't. इसको ज्यादा पता है. But at that time, there's just you turn the switch and just like bata so that I can learn
Yeah,
rather than be like, oh ho, but I need to match up to this level of
brain.
intelligence.
Yeah,
So I understand that a lot of people struggle from it, but I just think that you need to get your priorities right. And
true.
everyone, peers, yeah, friends, family, just tell them in however in however you want to say it, whichever way you want to say it, whichever manner you want to say it. Don't be rude, be kind,
Mm-hmm.
because it's pointless to be rude about it, I feel. But you need to let people know. Like whenever people say, oh my God, you've lost so much weight, you look lovely. I'll just be like, I didn't look lovely before. No, no, that's not what I meant. I said, so then
Yeah,
why is it why?
yeah,
It's become the new how are you? No. The minute you tell somebody that, look, you need to give the rest of humanity you need to give them the credit of understanding what you're saying. If they don't, it's their loss.
true.
But don't but at least give it,
Don't
like,
pounce on
educate
that.
somebody,
Yeah,
no? Yeah. I'm not saying it like, oh, I didn't look nice before. Is that what you're trying to say? No, I say like, I'm sorry, did I not look nice before? I've lost weight. Yes, you've made an observation. The sky is blue. I have also made an observation. But what is it that we're
Relation
trying
of
to say
weight
over
with
here?
looking good. Yeah.
Yeah. So like tomorrow you're going to say, "Oh my God, you've lost so much weight. You put on so much weight. You look great." When that starts to happen, I will take this also as a compliment. Sure. But
So
I
what are
don't know. I really don't know. I don't, I like, I keep telling, like, I've had, there are also, it's societal conditioning. So
mm-hmm.
with people who are a little older than you, um, you need to be a lot more understanding with them. I've had family members who said that, oh, tu thodi jadi thi gayi. Like I'm Gujarati, so there'll be some people who'll be like, oh no, you put on weight, and I'll just be like, okay, and no, I'm just saying that you should. Okay, why? That's it.
Yeah.
That's how I deal with it. I deal with it with a lot of sarcasm and humor and straight out. I just don't understand what the point you're trying to make. Please explain it to me.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll understand. Hopefully they won't.
But you can't change that about them.
I don't want to. Again, if it mattered to me,
Yeah.
in terms of if that relative is really close to me, if it's some dur ka somebody that I meet only once a year, then I really couldn't care less. But if it's somebody who's in my life constantly and I'm very invested in them, even if we meet once a year and they're saying something like that, I will have a conversation with you. Get your priorities right. Time bahut kam hai. There are many more things to do in life.
True.
So that's my end of my rambling.
So what are the upcoming projects you're working on?
Yeah, so there's Char
Okay.
which is what I'm shooting for, right? In fact, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So please cross your fingers and send me healthy vibes, all of us healthy vibes and safe vibes. And we're creating a bubble there, and we're shooting over there for Charyar, which is with Swara and Mehervich and Pooja Chopra and myself.
Okay.
So that's fun. So I'm shooting that right now. The public announced, I mean, the official announcement hasn't been made yet, but there's a web series that I've just shot for.
Okay.
There's another Marathi web series that was a complete challenge for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I had a blast doing that. So I'm waiting for that to come out as well. Again, there are lots of things that I've done
Mm-hmm.
that official announcements haven't been made, so I can't really talk
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are two web series. There's this film Charyar, and I'm reading a few really interesting scripts.
Okay.
So
So
hopefully those work out as well.
we will get to see you more on the screen.
Yes, that's the hope. On screen, on stage, everywhere.
Yeah. So one message for aspiring actors.
Uh, if you want to act, if you want to perform, focus on that. Don't focus on the fame. That's one. Second is try everything. Yeah. Audition, go and watch plays, audition for plays, do
Mm-hmm.
theater, read stuff,
Mm-hmm.
in this pandemic, perform, like read excerpts and perform them to your Instagram audience, whatever, just perform, do, perform. And read your script
Mm-hmm.
and be patient. Be very, very patient. It's all about time and luck.
Mm-hmm.